Hello there, this is Ray Sidney Smith from W3 Consulting. I am an outside consultant to the Alexandria Small Business Development Center, and on July 21st, 2016, I presented a seminar called Advertising on Social Media Platforms, and so I just wanted to give a brief overview of what we discussed and some pointers for those of you who were unable to attend. As well, I've provided the slide deck here on the blog post page where this is being displayed, or on the resources page, wherever you might be seeing it. So you can go ahead and see the slide deck and hopefully garner some information from that if you were not able to attend. So just a couple of things I just wanted to point out: the sort of state of social media today. Millennials now outnumber baby boomers. Based on the current statistics, we just have more people who are coming into the workforce and who are utilizing social media as a part of their normal workflow. So just be aware of that as a small business. It means that we have 27 million millennials. That's about a third of the US population and a quarter of our US workforce. So it's not something that you can really ignore as being a part of, that is, social technologies becoming a part of the way business is just standard run. Okay, now the standard operating procedure of business will have to include social media. Again, 90% of millennials use social media, 30% of people over 65. That means that a third of those people in executive positions are also using social media, and so we really have to be cognizant of the fact that social media is here to stay, and people are actually utilizing social media, so therefore there are eyeballs on the social networking services, which means there's a place for us to advertise. Okay, and so we really need to recommend highly that you look at not only social media content marketing, right, but also social media advertising, or what we call social advertising now, as a part of the overall marketing plan and sort of the advertising blend that you might have out there. That might include online advertising, that might be traditional print or direct mail or other kinds of advertising, email, that kind of thing. But this needs to now be a part of your overall marketing mix. Okay, so just so that we're on the same page, I made sure to sort of explain some of the social advertising types that are available to you, and I just want to go over very briefly what those are, because I think they're important for everybody to sort of understand. First and foremost, we have display or banner ads, and you know these most familiar from online advertising, right? So if you have Google AdWords campaigns or other kinds of things out there, you'll see these kinds of banner ads. They might be text or images, or even some of them are moving images, maybe a GIF or a small video that displays in a particular place on a particular published website. So you might see it on google.com, you might see it on other websites, other blogs, but those are basically called display or banner ads. Then we come into the newer kinds of social ad types, because these are the ones that can only appear in a particular type of social media environment, right? So this is what we call a promoted post, tweet, or pin, is basically any post within the network that looks like native content. Okay, so if it's on Facebook, it's a Facebook post. If it's on Twitter, it's called a tweet, and if it's on Pinterest, it's called a pin. Instagram, it's a post, and so on and so forth, right? But the idea here is that these advertising elements look very similar, if almost identical, to a native content post. And so you have to then create the advertising, post, tweet, pin, whatever it has, what have you, to look just like what you would post in a normal environment as native content. Okay, so that's sort of what it is, and it's just noted as being promoted or sponsored or whatnot, depending upon the network. Next up are sponsored stories. This is only currently Facebook available, and basically what that means is that someone who is a follower of yours or a fan of yours has gone ahead and talked about you on Facebook, and you are promoting that conversation to other people. Okay. Remarketing and retargeting, that's just the idea of placing a little bit of code on your Facebook page or your website, and you are then capable of identifying where someone is visiting in addition to the social networking service, so that you can track where they've been to and where they're going, and that means you can actually redisplay those ads in and on other places. So for example, someone goes ahead and visits your website. Well, they actually pick up a little bit of code on their computer that you've placed on your website, and that actually indicates that they've visited your website, and then when they come to Facebook, that code then triggers a particular ad for them to see when they come to it. And remarketing can be very, very successful in showing a number of touch points to a potential buyer. Video obviously is another ad type, and that's where you are actually, just like sort of a promoted post, tweet, or pin, is that you're actually showing video as a part of the native content experience. On YouTube, that is shown as a video that's shown either before, sometime during, or at the end of a video that someone is viewing on YouTube. On Twitter, that shows up as a post, right? So it shows up in that content stream as a basically a video tweet, and shows up as a promoted post within the network. Okay, so those are the ad types. This gives you some ideas to get the creative juices flowing, so that you know how to create content and ads that sort of blend together, the sort of advertorial in essence, so that you can create effective ads on social platforms. Okay, next up is sort of understanding the social advertising framework. Just a couple of basic suggestions, some ground rules if you would. And so number one, you're advertising and content marketing, right? So you have to understand that this is basically advertising, but you are definitely creating content, valuable content, so that the audience is able to interact, engage, and share that content on the social network, right? So think about some of the e-commerce rules and some of the social media rules basically blending together to create this social advertising framework. Next up are landing pages. You're going to have to Google this, but landing pages are not home pages, okay? You really need to fundamentally think about how you are driving traffic on a social, mobile, environment. That is, most social media is consumed on a mobile device, a smartphone, a tablet, what have you. And so you really need to think mobile first and drive people to landing pages, okay? So do not drive people to your home pages. You need to be driving people to landing pages. So go out there, Google landing pages, and learn how to create them so that you're able to drive social advertising campaigns to successful outcomes, which would hopefully be sales and revenue. But you need to really identify landing pages that you need to drive people to from your social advertising campaigns. Next up is that you need to be promoting free content, okay? And this is difficult for most small businesses because you have to really step back a bit to figure out what is the content you need to create first before you even get into creating the advertising campaigns and so on and so forth. So take a step back, figure out what you need to create in terms of content, and then engineer the social advertising campaigns around those free, valuable pieces of content. Number 4, target your most valuable customers, right? Your dollars are precious, and you don't need to be spending money on all of the potential customers that you could have. You need to really focus on the people who could be your MVCs, most valuable customers, and go after those when it comes to social advertising, at least at the beginning, right? You can always broaden once you create a successful social advertising campaign that you can then replicate across many different campaigns. But at the outset, I really recommend that you target those most valuable customers first and really hone the process with them, and then broadcast that out to other different service lines as well as other different demographics. And finally, this is really an iterative process. You're going to have many different types of ads that you will basically be testing out, be experimenting with as you make your way toward coming up with a fairly strong conversion rate that is, someone sees your ad and effectively does what you call them to do. So if the call to action is for them to click on it, for them to call you, for them to fill out a form, whatever it is on that landing page for them to do, you want them to go ahead and do that. Once you start to see that success rate at a rate that's actually sustainable and what you consider success, then you can go ahead and replicate that across many other areas of your advertising campaigns. But you really need to use this as an experimental process, and that sometimes takes 3, 6, 9 months of testing in order to be able to do that in small campaigns where you can strategically learn what works and what doesn't. Okay, so there are a lot of benefits to social advertising, from being able to present a strong brand message to creating community and loyalty for your company. You can also improve business processes. I particularly like it from a customer service perspective because you can really learn what effectively works in customer service and what doesn't. When you're advertising for very specific reasons. You can also increase your web presence, website traffic, and lead generation, capabilities. You really want to be able to drive traffic to your website and build that web presence that will build sales. You can always expand into new markets, and you can do that pretty quickly with social advertising because so many people are on it. You can really effectively find the right community at the right time and then advertise them through those campaigns. And of course, you can increase profit. Over time, you reduce marketing cost by making sure that you're advertising effectively. And that, in essence, will, create compound benefits. You advertise more with a more successful campaign set. Each of those ad sets then increases sales and then drives down costs over the long term, right? Because you're learning from what is successful and what's not. You get rid of the chaff, and now you can focus on that which is most profitable for you. So keep in mind the really strong benefits of social advertising. And of course, where do you advertise on social media? Well, all the major networks, right? As I said before, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. Instagram is owned by Facebook, so in essence, when you advertise on Facebook, you have the option under the Facebook Power Editor to go ahead and advertise within Instagram. You can advertise on Twitter. Twitter's a great venue for being able to do a social advertising campaign. LinkedIn, the business or professional social network, that has an advertising platform with many different ad types. Google owns YouTube, and you use Google AdWords in order to be able to go ahead and advertise on YouTube. So really think about how you're utilizing the Google AdWords platform in conjunction with YouTube. And then, of course, local blogs. They're in Alexandria. Look around you and see who are the influential bloggers in the community, right? Those people who are local bloggers are there to support local communities of people. And if those communities of people are people who buy from you, from your local business, whether it be retail or professional services, go after them. Find out how much their advertising rates are and start advertising with them, because quite honestly, you'd probably get a higher conversion rate. It's going to cost you a little bit more money, but you'll get a higher conversion rate because those people are local. They probably know you better. The blogger probably has greater influence over those people, so a little bit of that trust and social proofing makes its way onto you. So you'll probably find higher conversion rates with local blog advertising. So really look at local blogs. Remember, supporting those local blogs also means that you're supporting a local business owner. So there's that dual benefit as well. I'll close out with just a couple of points. One is that I am honored to be one of the Google Small Business Advisors for 2016. And so we are basically a group of 30 advisors to Google Small Business, and we are there to help small business owners like yourself with all kinds of issues relating to Google and small business. The website there on the screen, go ahead and head over to it, www.en.advertisercommunity.com. You'll log in with your Google account, which could be a Gmail account or any email address that you've created as a Google account, and log in, and you'll see the various communities for Google Small Business, for Google AdWords and Analytics and other products. So feel free to head over there, ask questions, engage with us, and we're happy to go ahead and answer that. Also, I am a Hootsuite brand ambassador, so I'm a volunteer helping people who want to use the social media dashboard. And so Hootsuite is a fantastic product, especially if you are trying to do a social advertising campaign and want to manage that in a centralized place. So say you have a Facebook ad campaign and a Twitter ad campaign, you can do that all within the Hootsuite dashboard. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me regarding Hootsuite as well. My contact information is there on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And otherwise, good luck with your social advertising on social media platforms. Take care.